What's up, Spartan Nation? Steve Leslie back at Cocca's Pizza on Wednesday night for another Boardman Spartan player profile. Thank Steve Cocca and his staff for all they do for Spartan athletics and Spartan football this season. Enjoy every Wednesday night here. Proud to be joined by senior offensive lineman Joe Sferra. Joe, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about yourself a little bit. Let's talk about your family. I'm sure family is important as a senior into that football season. Talk about your family a little bit.
Well, I grew up in Boardman, so I've gone here my whole life, and my two younger sisters go too.
Okay. Mom and dad.
Yep.
Talk about that a little bit. How special is that? I guess the first question for you is when you look at this season as a senior compared to last season, and that was chaos, and only a certain amount of people were allowed in the stands. But on your end, with younger sisters and mom and dad, how special is that to know that they're there each and every week for you?
Oh, it's super special. They've always supported me through everything I've done. So,
well, shout out to your family and your parents for sure as we start. All right, let's talk. Joe Sferra, Spartan player profile, senior offensive lineman. Let's go O-line. Cortland's here with you tonight.
Yeah.
I guess the first question, K'Wan Robinson is here tonight. It was great to see him. It was my first opportunity to meet him. The progress the young man has made is off the charts. 3 weeks ago with that tragic injury. Talk about how important he is still to this football team.
Oh, he's super important. What happened to him was horrible, and the whole team rallied around him to, help him get back, and it brought us all together.
I think it did, and you're one of the senior captains, obviously, with Cortland and O'Hara and those guys. I don't think people understand how hard that is when you see one of your teammates get injured like he was, and now to be here tonight and his same old giggly self and those types of things. Has that helped you guys as a football team into this point of the season?
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it definitely had. So shout out again to K'Wan, and shout out to all you guys and Coach Anther for all you did for the young man and his progress. Hopefully, he says that he's going to be back in a uniform. That would be good for you guys. But let's talk offensive lineman. You're a senior. You're getting some looks now to play college football. Cortland is also. Talk about this O-line. I talk with Coach Antrim every week. He raves about the offensive line, raves about you and Cortland and the young man Terlesky's doing well. Talk about this offensive line. How good can this group be?
It's super special. Me and Cortland have had a lot of experience, especially together on the same side line. So we know how each other work. So it works out so smoothly.
How special is that for both of you? You kind of know one another. You know what the calls are. You know what's needed. Does that help a younger player and a Terlesky and these younger guys that you're building into this Spartan culture?
Yeah, because the younger guys will look at that and they'll strive to achieve that as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the two of you are two great offensive linemen that I'm thrilled to coach with. Let's talk about yourself a little bit. Some college offers starting to hopefully come into place. What does Joe Sferra want to do college football-wise? Is there an interest to play for sure?
Definitely, for sure. Yeah.
What are some of the places that we're looking at right now?
Right now we're looking at Long Island, Dartmouth, Lake Erie, and Clarion.
Dartmouth. There's one Spartan fans. Dartmouth, that's a pretty good academic institution. So obviously the grades are there and those opportunities. I talk a lot with a lot of players and being recruited and those things. And I say, yeah, it's all great. It's all fun, but it's also a lot of work. When you're a senior, you have schoolwork, you have practice, and then you have to entertain college coaches talking to you, wanting to come and visit. How rough is that?
Oh, it's been a ride. We'll say that.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of work, but it's all going to pay off in the end.
It is going to pay off in the end. It's going to pay off for you big time. I know in talking with Coach how good you can be, how good you're going to be. So anybody out there listening, Joe Sferra, Spartan offensive lineman, college coaches, come and get him. He's looking for an opportunity to play football. 4-2. I look at, and I was just joking with Coach, your schedule's one of the best schedules in the state of Ohio. I will say that. When you go to school at Boardman, in a big school, and football is important, how nice is it to play the schedule that you guys do?
It's super special. You're going to go out every week and you're going to have good competition and play against great guys. We've always said that, we've in this area, we've got really great football. So, it's super special, and especially have the whole school behind you as well.
Yeah, that's a good point that you put on. I want to get into that. The whole school is behind you. I talk with Coach a lot. The community has kind of embraced Spartan football. How nice is that for you? And I guess I want to ask you, do you notice this year now, the band's there? Your student section is one of the best in the area. As a lineman, do you notice those things during a game, or are you guys locked in on what's going on the line of scrimmage?
We notice that kind of stuff. We can hear especially when we score. We can hear the band going. That always gets us going. The student section will get us going, and they'll mess with the other team and stuff. It's great.
Well, there's nothing better, Spartan Nation, and I'm going to say it, than the Spartan band and the student body that does a great job of helping this football team. They're going to play Warren Harding Friday night. We'll have it for you on ysnlive.com. You played Benedictine last week, probably the top team in the state of Ohio. A learning experience, obviously, but it's a 10-7 game.
Mm-hmm.
A couple mistakes. How do you move forward from that to get prepared for Harding?
You have to learn from the mistakes and move on to preparing for Warren. You can't dwell on the mistakes of the past. You have to learn from them and move on.
Absolutely. And I was able to watch some of that game, Joe. I thought you guys did a lot of great things in that game. A couple big plays here and there, but I think that's a game that can propel this football team through these last 4 weeks, through obviously and hopefully a playoff game, which I think you've positioned yourself well for with your schedule. Warren Harding, talk about them a little bit. Talented, athletic. Your thoughts on Warren Harding from what you've seen so far?
So it's actually kind of funny you say that. We, our class especially, we've always had this thing with Warren. I don't know what it is, but we've always gone super crazy about Warren. So it's just another year of that for us, and we're super excited to play him.
Okay, big time rivalry. Obviously, was an old Steel Valley rivalry back in the day. So we'll have the game for you on ysnlive.com Friday night from Mullenkoff Stadium, which is a great place to play football. Let's talk a little bit about offensive linemen. Don't get the credit, the newspaper, the O'Hora run, the Terrence Thomas, those guys, Cam Thompson. You have some great skill people, but you and Cortland have played a lot of football together. From an offensive lineman standpoint, how nice is it to open up a gaping hole or give a quarterback time to throw the football and put up a big play?
Oh, it's great because, if you didn't do your job there, then that play probably doesn't happen. So it's great to know that, you were instrumental in making that happen.
All right, I want you to say that again for everybody. Folks, if linemen don't do their job, the Cam Thompsons, the O'Horos, and Terrence Thomas, and the Purdue Boilermakers, and the Drew Brees helmets and all those things, that does not happen without these big boys that we're interviewing tonight. That has to be special for you when you pancake somebody and do it.
Oh, 100%.
So we're going to play a little rapid fire.
All right.
No wrong answers, just a couple questions for Spartan Nation to get to know you. Joe Sferra, Spartan lineman, senior, one of the leaders of this football team. Let's go game day. Are you drinking water or are you drinking Gatorade?
So what I do is I have a gallon of water I drink throughout the day, and I also have a Pedialyte.
Okay,
been a thing
Pedialyte's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good answer that I haven't heard before, but I've heard a lot of good things on Pedialyte. Now that's all throughout the day on game day.
Yes, sir.
Have you had trouble, cramps, those types of things? No, because that helped. Okay, well that's a great answer. There you go. That's a good one that Coach Leslie learned. Keep sticking with that for sure. This is what I like about linemen in music. Like these guys that are skilled guys, they do a little bit of that, They have a little flair about themselves. When you're with your linemen and you have your headsets on, what's Joe Sferra listening to?
So my game day playlist is a lot of 50s and 60s rock and roll.
I love it.
Yeah.
50s and 60s Spartan fans, I love it. What are you listening to? Like, what's some of the stuff you listen to?
So I've been listening to the Four Seasons a lot.
Okay, Four Seasons were excellent.
Bunch of Elvis right now.
Elvis is good.
Some Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry. Those are all good answers, and that gets you going.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about school being recruited by all those great institutions. Your favorite class you've had at Boardman?
I would definitely say my calculus class.
Okay, calculus. That's a good one. So Joe Sferra, you get the opportunity here on YSN. A little shout out to a Spartan teacher you want to say hello and thanks to.
Your thing, Mr. Gerthung, he was my math teacher my sophomore year.
Okay, so he got you ready. He got you liking math, and now we're in the calculus class in math. Is that something you want to go into college and do from a math standpoint?
Honestly, not really. I'm
No?
thinking about going on exercise science.
Exercise science is good.
Just love math.
You like math? Those kind of work hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to, what do you want to do with exercise science? Get into some coaching?
I'd like to get into a graduate program to become a physical therapist.
Okay, physical therapy is good. That's would be a part of an athletic program for sure. Obviously, those are great answers. Favorite college football team?
Ohio State.
Ohio State?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the Bucks too. We got everybody's a little down on the Bucks, but there's a long season left with some quality opponents. I think the Bucks are going to be okay.
Yep.
Favorite pro team?
The Vegas Raiders.
The Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Wow. Spartan Nation, there you have it. The Vegas Raiders. 3-0 for the Vegas Raiders.
Everyone's always hating on us. But
everybody's on hating on you.
We're still undefeated.
Still undefeated. Beat the Steelers. That had to make you happy in this part of the area.
So happy.
Huh? All right. Offensive lineman. Someone that you want to style your play after. Somebody in the NFL or a college guy that Joe Sferra wants to be like.
Well, even though he's not playing anymore, definitely Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas. That's one of my. I'm a Browns fan, so he's was one of the best linemen ever to play. Unfortunately, never really played on a good team to get. I mean, he got great exposure. Don't get me wrong, but the exposure he should have got. So great answer there. A role model. Who's a role model for you? Who's that person that you go to when Joe's down a little bit, things are struggling? Who's your go-to guy as a role model?
Definitely my dad. You know, he's always helped me through anything that I've been going through.
Well, shout out to Dad. Thanks for all you do for Joe here. And, you know, we talk a lot about these. I've become awful close with Coach Antrim. As a senior, it's hard when you get a new coach and you've go through change. And I'm amazed at what Coach Antrim has done in such a short time at Boardman, building relationships, building things with players. I see what you guys do on social media, going to your younger levels games. What does Coach Antrim mean to this football team?
He means everything. You know, he's done a whole lot for us. You know, and it's definitely showing up on the field on Friday night.
Well, it's showing off on the field. They'll have a big game Friday night against Warren Harding. We'll have it for you on ysnlive.com. Joe, best of luck to you and the big boys off in the offensive line. Keep plowing those holes so all this athletic players on this football team can keep doing what they do. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All righty.